Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with my August TBR. So I have vacation a couple of days in August, but on the 6th I think it is, I start working again. So we'll see how much I get read during that first week of August before I start working full time again. But I have 5 books that I really want to read this month, and 2 of them happens to be really big books. So we'll see how it goes. So I thought we would start with the big books. So the first one is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This is like 650-ish pages. So it's quite big. Loving the cover though. And I've been wanting to read this book for a really long time. And I'm going to try to read this one while I still have vacation in August. So hopefully I will be able to do it. This story is about 2 sisters who happen to be princesses, and then there's this god king who happens to be a lesser god, and one of the girls have to marry him and try to make him, you know, undo the mistakes he done a couple of 100 years ago. So people who live in this world, if they die while like living in glory or whatever, they come back as gods. So I mean, I love gods and I love magical powers, and my friend Jamie read this book not that long ago and she really liked it, so hopefully I will too. And then we have the other book that is really big that I want to read, which also happens to be, you know, almost 700 pages, so it's even bigger. But that is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2 in the Mistborn trilogy. This is, what was it? It's almost 800 pages, so it's like 780, so great. But this is book 2, like I said, and in the first book we meet a couple of misfits really, and they happen to have magical powers. They can use allomancy, meaning they can inhale different kind of metal, and then they can use different kind of powers. So there's this dude, the Dark Lord, that they want to dethrone, and to be able to do so they need to, you know, ramble up an army so they can win over him, and they also need to use their allomancy powers. So far, really love the series and I want to continue on with it. I'm just gonna dive right on through to this one, because if I pause between the books I'm gonna get more scared because they're so huge and it scares the bejesus out of me. So I feel like I should just like dive right in and maybe it will go well, because this is so huge. But you know, I'm gonna do it. And then we have 3 books that are a lot shorter and therefore hopefully much quicker to read. But the first one is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This one is not even 400 pages, so I feel like that would help, which I feel is like kind of short because it looks so tiny, but that's because the other ones are huge. But this one is about Fitz, and where he lives there's a civil war on the horizon, and he is trained to become an assassin because he's a bastard born, so it's pretty much his lives matter just as much as the lower born kids. But he's trained to become an assassin to be able to, you know, take care of shit, and it sounds really cool. I love the assassin's trope kind of thing, and I've never actually read an assassin book, you know, about a male protagonist, so that'll be interesting. And I want to read a Robin Hobb book for a really long time, so you know, now is the time. And then we have Legend by Mary Lou. I don't really know a lot about this book. I just know that it's a dystopian novel. It's supposed to be a trilogy, I believe. I read Warcross by Mary Lou, loved it, and then I read Batman Nightwalker and I was bored out of my mind. So I don't really know what to expect of this book. It has quite good ratings on Goodreads though, so I do hope that we like it. But pretty much all I know is that it's a dystopian, because on the back it has literally no explanation what it's about. So, you know, we'll see. It will be interesting, and hopefully it will be a quick read. This book has 305 pages and that's like nothing, so I should fly through this one. And then we have come to the last book I want to read this month, and this book I actually started reading a couple of months ago. I got a couple of pages in and then I stopped for whatever reason. But that book is 10,000 Skies Above You by Claudia Gray. This is book 2 in the Firebird trilogy, and I read about 18 pages in it, so you know, story of my life. But the first book we meet this girl named Margaret, and her parents happens to be sort of scientists, and they have invented this thing called Firebird. And using this device you can travel through different dimensions kind of, so that you can travel into your other body pretty much. So in the different dimensions every person exists, but they live very different kind of lives. And then one day this guy who has actually been kind of his parents' apprentice ends up killing Margaret's dad, and he steals the Firebird and disappears into another dimension, and Margaret decides to take up the chase. So they end up in different dimensions, shit goes down, and it's so cool. I love the different dimensions, different like realities, and it was really awesome. And I don't know why I didn't continue on with the trilogy, because I have all of the books, so I really do want to continue on with this one because I'm pretty darn sure I will like it. Those were the 5 books I want to focus on. Since 2 of the books are really thick, we'll see how it goes. I might get into the worst reading slump of my life, but you know, gotta take a chance, people. But yeah, if you've read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought about them, without spoiling of course. And yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope we see each other next time. Bye!